Good morning. Dwayne here at Dry Creek Wrangler School. We're out on the property this morning. Everything is finally paperwork wise, it's all settled, and so we've got a lot to do to start getting things ready for May. And so we're gonna start fencing this morning. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take this about a 4-acre pasture here, fix the fence and get it ready. The horses, Boone and Biscuit and Rodeo are in Texas, and we need to go get them, and I need to start picking up some more horses, so we got to get a pasture ready. So we're going to spend the next few days fencing this in. So we figure we'd take the opportunity and we'd do some talking about fencing this morning. Now, if you come to the point where you need to build fence, I have a video on here I did several months ago about fixing fence, repairing fence, but now we're going to talk about building fence. All right? Whether you're going to be rebuilding an old something that was there or starting out fresh. Some things that you need to consider, some things that you need to be aware of. Number one, you need to know right off the bat, what are you going to be fencing in? Now that's important. If I were going to be fencing in sheep or goats, I would use a different kind of fence. If I were only going to have cattle in here, I would run just 4 or 5 strands of barbed wire. If I were going to be running the sheep or the goats, I'd have that woven wire with like the 4-inch squares or the 4x8-inch squares. But we're going to be running horses, and not just my horses, but there's going to be guest horses who are coming to the school. Some folks are bringing their own horses, and so that's a different deal. And so I'm not going to run barbed wire, and I definitely will not run the panel woven wire fence. And so you need to know what you're going to be keeping in, because that's going to play a part in it. Secondly, you need to know what your budget is. Because that is going to play a part on what kind of fence you're going to put up. Now, if I had an unlimited budget, I'd have really nice pole fence around. Probably what I'd have is like welded steel, like old oil well pipes, like they have out west in Texas where the oil fields are. Once you get them up, you never have to do anything with them again except keep them painted. Or I'd have a nice post and board fence, but I can't afford that. That's not in my budget. But I don't run barbed wire with horses, and I don't run woven wire with horses. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do twisted smooth wire. Now, twisted smooth wire is like barbed wire. You see how this wire is twisted? It's got barbs in it. Well, you can buy a wire that's twisted. It's 2 wires twisted together, but it doesn't have any barbs. And so I'm going to run at least 4 strands of twisted smooth wire, and I may run 5, but I'm going to run at least 4. And so now I know what kind of fence I'm going to put up. Now, I got to do 2 or 3 things. First off, I'm going to take this fence out. That's what Mom and I are going to spend the day doing. We're going to be removing all the current wire that was here from before. We're going to take it off. All right, we're going to roll it up. It can be used someplace else for something else. But I'm going to start from the beginning. Going to get this down, going to do some mowing. The field obviously needs bush hogged, but we're going to take the wire down. Second thing I'm going to do is up here, somewhere in here, I'm going to put in a gate, which means I have to plant posts. And so you need to plan in advance what you're going to do. You need to know what you're going to do. And so we're going to plant some posts. I'm going to put a gate in here so we can get horse trailer in and out. We can do what we need to do. Now we're going to run the fence up here. We're going to run it down along the edge of the trees. That's the property line. And then in that corner, and then down here, Mama's pointing the camera down there. That lower tree line down there, there's a creek down there. And so we're going to run the fence in such a way that the horses can't get across the creek, but they can get to the creek, so we're not having to haul water or pump water up here. So like anything else that you do, you need to have a plan. You need to know what you're doing, and you need to know why you're doing it. And you need to do it right. Now, I could come in here, tighten this up, find the places where it's down, tighten that up, find the places where the wire is gone, run some new wire there, and in a day I could have this up where I could put horses in there. My granddad told my dad when my dad was a kid, and my dad told me when I was a kid, when you pull up in a new farm, a farm you've never been before, the first thing people judge are the fences. You can judge the farm by the fences. If he's got sloppy, careless fences, he's a sloppy, careless farmer. And if you pull up and he's got good straight fences, and he's got good posts and they're straight, and he's got good wire, that means a man cares and he takes care of stuff, and he does stuff right, and he's conscientious. And we're going to put good fence up, okay? So it's going to take more work, and it's going to take more money, and it's going to take more time. But you only get out of something what you put into it. And I don't want guests coming here to the school and putting horse out here and them running up along, and maybe their horse is a little flighty, maybe the horse is just a little nervous, the horses are having a shakedown in the pecking order, and they run along a barbed wire fence and get cut up. I don't want that. I don't want my horses cut up. I don't want old wire left rolled up out here hidden in the grass and stuff. So we're going to do things right. So that's where we're starting. This is going to be part one of a series, and we're going to start fencing. So we'll keep you guys up to date and caught up as we go along and make progress. Okay, so we're starting on the corner, and what we're going to do, I'm going to leave this top electric line wire right now and decide what I'm going to do with it later. But we're going to start undoing the barbed wire. So now, Mama's going to take the pliers and she's going to start going down the fence, and she's going to start removing the hooks that are keeping the fence tied to the T-post. And I'm going to come off right here. I'm pulling it off the post, and there's a staple back there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come behind her and I'm going to roll this up. Now, you only do one wire at a time. Mama asked me, do you want me to start undo all the as we go down so we don't have to make another trip? No, just do one at a time. That way, the one wire that you're doing, you have free. Because if you've got 3 strands of barbed wire on the ground, spaghettiing up, coiling up together and everything, you're going to have a mess trying to untangle them to roll it up, okay? So we're going to do one wire at a time, and I'm going to try to get this staple out of here, and we're going to roll it up. Mom and I took a break from fencing to go up the road about a mile and get some lunch and get a cheeseburger, and so we finished up and came back, and got to let my my lunch digest a little bit, otherwise I may get leg cramps and drown. Having a brick house, gonna sit here and got a brick house Maduro going, and my gold cup of coffee. Mama said ought to do a nugget. And something, just something, a word. I've been thinking this week, you can't know something until you know that you don't know. Until you know that you don't know, you'll never know. Because you already know everything. And so you're completely unteachable. It's been my observation that a lot of folks that get on and comment on the channel, they know everything about everything, and they don't get on the channel to see if they can learn something. They get on the channel to critique and to judge, and to tell everybody what they already know. It doesn't matter what the subject is. It might be your marriage, it might be raising kids, it might be riding horses, it might be fixing fence, it might be politics, it might be religion. But none of us know everything. We're humans. And there's holes in your knowledge, there's holes in your education on any subject. So it doesn't matter what you do for a living. It doesn't matter how much you know about anything. Until you come to the place that you know that you don't know, you'll never know.